Hi everyone, welcome back to the Etsy Edit. This is my first video where I'm showing my face. I'm Megan and it's so good to see you guys and for you guys to see me. I am going to be doing a lot more videos where I show my face. That way you guys can sometimes see my screen, which I will always have right beside me if I'm teaching you guys how to do something or I'm walking you through something. You can hear my voice as well as see my screen as always. Today I'm going to do a talking style video where I'm going to tell you if I had to do Etsy all over again, what kind of product I would choose. And I deal with a lot of customers day to day, messaging, emailing, all of that. And there are times that I just don't want to deal with people and it gets to me because let's be honest, people can be kind of annoying and aggravating and they don't give you enough time to send out products, or they think that you're just sitting there waiting for their order. You have been doing Etsy for a while, you know it can be very frustrating and just exhausting, to be honest. Product that I would choose if I were to start all over again would have to be digital products, hands down, because there's no inventory. When you think about digital products, you create it once. Usually you create it once and you then upload it via PDF file or the file straight like that, and the person purchases it and then they are able to download it right away instantly, or at least are able to download a PDF file. They're able to then download the PDF file or download the digital product itself, and that is it. You really don't have much interaction unless they're not able to open either one of those, or they're having a difficulty getting into the file or something happens, right? Usually that is it. That's where your service stops. When you sell a tangible product, I'm going to call it, whether it be apparel, whether it be party favors, wedding items, you have to find a space, one, to hold all of the inventory. So like I said, whether you're selling apparel, party favors, whatever, you have to have all of the materials right there, and then if you get an order you can make it and ship it out, right? Then you have to ship it out, and if you have been on Etsy or you're just starting to be on Etsy, you know shipping can cost a lot of coin and it can take a while for you actually to generate enough profit to where you are not getting sucked in by all of the shipping costs. And then you have the Etsy fees. Now the Etsy fees are going to be there regardless whether you're selling a tangible product or digital product, but I feel that you feel it more when they're actually tangible. I don't know, that's just me, but you guys tell me what you think. And there's the act of actually producing the product, actually taking the time to make it, all the hours you put in, all the time and effort and what have you, right? With the digital product, you usually spend, I think the average amount of time I've spent on a digital product would have to be 3 hours. And that was like start to finish. But usually it takes me about 3 hours. If you're just a beginner, it might take you a little bit longer. But as you start to create, it will get easier. And you will just like get the hang of the program you're using, whether it be Canva or Adobe Photoshop, or I don't know what other programs are on there. I don't know. I'm a strictly Canva girl, so I don't know much about that. But you can even take the route as using AI. AI has like really come up in the last couple of years and they create some pretty good stuff and I love it. It really has changed the game for me with my Etsy business. Digital products have really changed the world. And I don't mean that dramatically, because if I'm throwing a party and I just want something easy, it's a small get together, I don't want to spend too much money on it, I usually go to Etsy to buy certain things. And now if I can buy it, buy the design or buy the item, print it from my home and have it for my party right there and then, it's amazing. And all you last minute people must be loving that too, because I can't tell you how many times I've had last minute things, and I go onto Etsy and somebody's already designed the invite, or somebody has already designed the menu template for me. So it really has changed the game for just selling stuff in general. Not only that, but it gives you the freedom to have like passive income, right? So when you think about owning a business, you don't usually think about passive income. You normally think about, okay, I have to invest all this money, I have to find an office space, I have to find a warehouse space, I have to think about eventually hiring people to help me. But you never think of maybe having a business that's passive, right? And with digital products, if you scale them correctly and you really build your store around to be just digital products, you can really have a passive income business. And it really can be scalable to that. And the way people position it nowadays is so wrong. I feel like people are positioning their digital products to be super cheap. And honestly, certain things can be cheap, and then and when I mean cheap, I mean affordable, right? So anything less than $5. And then there's other things that I feel like people are pricing at $5 when they can really get 29 to 30 bucks for it. So you really want to take it into account too, how much time and effort are you spending on it? Are you using a program such as Photoshop or Canva that costs money that you're paying for a subscription service? I know for me, Canva is like $14 maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. It just gets taken out automatically out of my account. I have no idea what it actually costs anymore. And Photoshop is up there in price, I believe. I believe it's like 20 something dollars, $30 maybe even. You are gonna want to make sure you are making that with your digital products to cover that cost, because that's really the only cost you should have. In the beginning, if you're first opening your Etsy store, you'll have that first initial signing up fee to open the shop. But other than that, you shouldn't really have any other expenses going into it. Once you have everything set up on your Etsy shop and your sales start to generate and you start to make income, you really do have a passive business, because you can essentially just sit there and watch the orders come in. Like I said, unless you have a technical issue where you need to explain to a customer how to get something, or maybe one day a customer has a question like, can they edit this, or can they change the colors in Canva to an invite you created? But essentially, you can have that as your side business if you have a 9 to 5, as long as you are positioning correctly, you're using the right SEO keywords, you're using the right mock-up photos, and you are positioning your tags correctly. You can definitely have a great passive digital product business. But these are all things to think about when you go to create your business. I for sure would have just started with digital products. I love to create, I love to be creative. So something for that for me would have been amazing. I have my tangible store, but I highly consider opening up a digital store nowadays, just because there's so many things you can do with it, right? You can do all kinds of templates, you can do planners, you can do invites. There's so many niches that you can go down. So it's really, really competitive, but you can definitely make a good profit off of it. I'm gonna list some other digital product ideas that maybe you guys haven't thought of that will be right here, and you can go and research it yourself. But yeah, it was so nice to talk to you guys this way. I can't wait to do more videos like this. Started my business with absolutely nothing, and I have now made it into my full-time income, my full-time job, and I work from home. I make my own hours, and it literally has been the best thing that I have ever done for myself. So if you are considering Etsy, I would highly recommend checking out my other videos. Here are 2 that you guys might be interested in. But I will see you guys next time on the Etsy edit. Bye guys.